What will happen if Jake Paul wins against KSI? Right, so the other night I was scrolling through YouTube and I found a very interesting clip. KSI speaks about his fight with Jake Paul. In the clip itself, KSI is talking with BBC 5 Live about Jake Paul and the future boxing match. And in the video, KSI makes some very interesting points. Because in the interview, KSI discusses how he wants to end YouTube boxing. Make sure you stick around to the end because in this video I will also be bringing up another point. What will happen if Jake Paul wins against KSI? Yo, I know, fucking blasphemy, slay me down, being on Jake Paul's side, how could you? But back to the main topic. So KSI in the video, he makes a mention of wanting to end YouTube boxing. Jake Paul obviously being his last fight, and then that's that. He will never do boxing again. But the main question is why? Why does KSI feel the need to go back into YouTube boxing and finish off Jake Paul? I mean, obviously he doesn't have to, but he feels obligated to do so. Judging by Jake Paul's previous fights with his brother and Anisong Gibb, two people he's very close with, he almost owes it to them to finish off Jake Paul. I think it's pretty obvious to everyone, but KSI does not need to do boxing ever again. Fuck, even after the first fight with Logan Paul, you could have quit then. Just be like, oh, I can't be arsed, I made the money, I've made this fine. And then he can just go home, get fat, and rap. But no, he came back to finish off Logan, and now he's coming back to finish off Jake. I mean, I'm sure KSI is very confident going into this match, considering he has beaten Logan Paul. So surely Jake Paul's going to be way easier to defeat, right? Well, this is where we get into the second part of the video. What if Jake Paul wins against KSI? Now, as I've said before, I'm clearly not a Jake Paul fan. In fact, I support KSI 100%. But let's just look at Jake Paul's history. Jake Paul beat KSI's brother, although apparently he wasn't training very hard. Okay, let's just exempt him from Deji, okay? So he then fought Anisong Gibb. He then won in like the first round. Anisong Gibb decided to fucking start teabagging in the field. But think about how much confidence Jake Paul has at this moment in time. He's beaten his brother. He's beaten one of KSI's best friends. And now he's coming for JJ. And this is also why this fight is going to be so fucking good. You got KSI, who hasn't lost either, and has so much confidence. On one side, KSI wants to fuck up Jake Paul. And on the other side, Jake Paul wants to beat the shit out of KSI. They both have the same confidence, if not arrogance. But they carry the same confidence and determination that you actually question who might actually win. This is what makes the fight so interesting. Now let's get down to what I think the aftermath will be. So, scenario 1. KSI wins. Judging by the way Logan Paul was treated after the fight, I feel like the same might happen here. Jake Paul will be memed the shit out of by KSI's fans. It's ridiculous. It will be the top thing in his Reddit page for months, man. You can't even lie about that. In fact, it might stay around for as long as his Reddit page does. And I'm sure he'll stick to his words and never do YouTube boxing again and entirely focus on rapping. Forever trying to make his rapping ability as best as he possibly can. I mean, it's evident now with the likes of Lacha. On the flip side though, I don't even know what hole Jake Paul is going to go into. He's going to get buried in some random ass quarry because of how much a defeat he will feel. All that confidence, all that determination for Jake Paul just to lose on the night. Especially if it's an early round knockout. That will embarrass him to shit. In fact, there's a very small possibility that Jake Paul will just stop doing music for a short duration. Or even in the long time, he might just quit music altogether. In that case, I'm sure a lot of people would happily allow JJ to beat the shit out of Jake Paul. But scenario 2. Jake Paul wins. In this scenario, KSI goes silent on his channel. He doesn't upload for months. Similar to what happened in 2017 where he just vanished off the face of the internet. But this time he's just going to be constantly thinking, how can he have beaten Jake Paul? What could he have done differently? How did he mess up this bad? And during this duration, KSI, he doesn't keep doing music. He actually just falls into a hole similar to the Jake Paul scenario. I feel like if either of them lose, the other is going to a serious hole. Despite whichever one wins, either one of them will go into a very bad situation. They would have extremely low confidence. And meanwhile, while KSI is off for months, Jake Paul decides to call out more YouTubers. He keeps the YouTube boxing going. He needs to get back that audience that he lost years ago. And during this journey, he will try and mature like his brother. He sees why his brother is a lot more respected than he is and taken way more seriously. If he respects KSI on the night, I guarantee people will start going for Jake Paul. People will think he's matured a bit and start watching his content and subscribing to him. And before you know it, Jake Paul's music gets better and better. I mean, currently it's shit now, but let's not talk about that. Either way, this fight matters matters to both of them. As much as KSI says he doesn't need to do this fight, but he feels like he has to for Deji and at least on Gibbs' sake, he will lose a lot of confidence if he is defeated by Jake Paul. But in the same way, Jake Paul needs this fight, and if he loses it, he doesn't know where he's gonna go. But hopefully Logan will have his back and boost his confidence again, because after a fight like that, and if he loses, he will fucking need it. But then we have the third scenario. A draw. This scenario is just me taking a piss a bit. I mean, another draw, really? Come on now, JJ. You can't fake 2 draws now, let's be honest. If it is another draw, I think they'll just do it the same as they did with Logan Paul versus KSI and just do it the year after. But I think that is where we're going to leave it. Thank you guys for watching a Lacha YouTube video. And if you do enjoy these types of topics, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. According to YouTube, 90% of people who watch these videos are not subscribed, so be sure to smash the subscribe button. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think will win and why? KSI or Jake Paul? Unsurprisingly, I think everyone's going to say KSI. Unless there's that one Jake Paul fan, he's like, you alright? But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in a bit.